Hello, today is Friday, September 24th, and this is another episode of Friday 5 at 5 with the Denver Public Library. My name is Erin. I'm a librarian at DPL's Central Library, and in 15 minutes or less, we'll have you up to speed on 5 new titles we can't wait for you to read or listen to. It's Hispanic Heritage Month, and we have a lot going on at the Denver Public Library. From family portraits with Armando Haniero at our Corky Gonzalez, Montbello, and Valdez Perry branches, to arepas, tamales, and pan con chumpe making at the Sam Gary branch, there is something for everyone. And don't forget to mark your calendar for the 2021 Latino Community Service Awards on October 9th at the Corky Gonzalez branch. Details at the link below. Now on to this month's titles. In our first title, Things I Have Withheld, author, and in this case essayist, Kay Miller, explores silence and everything that inhabits it. Book available and ebook and e-audio in Overdrive. His essays reflect on the spaces left behind by all the things unsaid about race. This book perfectly encapsulates what it means to live in today's world as the other, as Miller takes the reader into the why of the withheld words, screams, and protests. In 14 essays that code switch between personas and move from the incisive language of a university professor to Jamaican patois, he vividly depicts the ways colonialism, racism, homophobia, and privilege have shaped his life. As he writes in a letter addressed to the late James Baldwin, there is little between the set of circumstances you wrote of and the set of circumstances we live in now. The book closes on a sharp essay about police brutality where the poignant words, "I can't breathe," take up almost a full page of space. Interesting to note that Miller reads the audiobook himself, making the silence between the words as lyrical as the words in between. This belongs on the shelf along with Bell Hook's Yearning, Race, Gender, and Cultural Politics and The Souls of Yellow Folk by Wesley Yang. For our second title, we have a book by CASSANDRA, who has made their name as one of the most exciting voices out there writing short fiction, from their darkly lyrical short stories to the brilliant and disturbing Lovecraftian Persons Non Grata series of novellas, Hammer on Bone and A Song for Quiet. The All-Consuming World is CAW's debut novel, available as a book and ebook on Overdrive. The book shows that they are just as powerful and adept at writing longer form. A blistering, foul-mouthed, cyberpunk space opera fueled by Western noir tropes, this book breaks down the door with the force of a kick to the head and never lets up until the very end. The story follows a now disbanded crew of outlaws who were once notorious throughout the galaxy as they get back together to solve the mystery of why their last heist went so poorly. Maya, the crew's feral gunwoman, and Rita, the mastermind of the group, find out that a long-dead comrade may still be alive, and they set out to gather the rest of the crew for one last mission. But they're not the only ones in pursuit of the secret at the heart of the planet Dimobugir. The highly evolved AI of the galaxy have their own agenda and will do whatever it takes to keep humanity from ever regaining control. Think of this as a mashup between Isaac Asimov's I, Robot, Marvel's Guardian of the Galaxy, and the movie Mad Max. This next one is for those fans of unreliable narrators. In Amanda Jayatissa's My Sweet Girl, Paloma is the living embodiment of every older millennial freelancer. She's trying to get her graphic design business off the ground, but the circumstances around her, as well as the struggles of her own past, are affecting her mental health enough that she can't concentrate on her work. She's also had a fight with her parents and is probably drinking more than is strictly healthy for her. It's in the midst of all this that Paloma stumbles home to find her roommate Arun dead, murdered in their apartment. There are a few things that make this even more complicated for Paloma. First, she passes out upon discovery of the body, and when she wakes, Arun's body is gone and the apartment is spotless. Paloma is terrified this is all somehow tangled up in the desperate actions she took to escape Sri Lanka so many years ago. Did Paloma's secret die with Arun, or is she now in greater danger than ever before? Berkeley, print, e-audio, and e-book available on Overdrive. If you enjoyed Chris Bojalian's The Flight Attendant or Mary Torgeson's Gone Without a Trace, Paloma is your girl. Josh Ritter has been called one of America's greatest songwriters. Now he has set his sights on writing for readers. His second novel, and our fourth pick for you, The Great and Glorious Goddamn of It All, available from Hanover Square in print and in ebook and e-audio formats through Overdrive, is set in Idaho, where Ritter was raised in the early 1900s before modern machines changed the logging business forever. Charming, illuminating, and tender, Ritter has crafted a layered novel that clearly benefits from his talents. The descriptions of Cordelia, a lumberjack town circa the Prohibition era, are richly described and immersive. This is a yarn spun by Weldon Applegate, who readers follow over the course of his life from his teen years up to his deathbed. At 14, Weldon suddenly becomes an orphan and unwaveringly strives to fulfill his family's destiny by logging their land, even though it has been haunted and labeled as cursed. Others in Cordelia try to take advantage of Weldon's inferior age and size with extortion and threats, but they underestimate young Weldon's determination and cunning. Ritter's novel is simultaneously laudatory to this subculture and unrelenting in its graphic depictions of its violence and punishing environment. Weldon's initiation demonstrates the stark realities of those times and evokes a sense of nostalgia for a lost art. Bonus for listeners, John Ritter reads this himself and includes an exclusive original song inspired by the book, braided with haunting saloon tunes and just the right dose of magic. A historical tall tale of sorts for readers of Michael Christie's Greenwood and Jane Smiley's Some Luck. Last up is Rogues Gallery, The Birth of Modern Policing and Organized Crime in Gilded Age New York by John Oller. This is a sweeping epic tale of two revolutions, one feeding off the other, that played out on the streets of New York City during an era known as the Gilded Age. For centuries, New York has been a haven of crime. A thief or murderer not caught in the act nearly always got away. But in the early 1870s, an Irish cop by the name of Thomas Burns developed new ways to catch criminals. Mugshots and daily lineups helped witnesses point out culprits. The famed Rogues Gallery allowed police to track repeat offenders, and the third-degree interrogation method induced recalcitrant crooks to confess. Yet as policing became even more specialized and efficient, crime itself began to change. Robberies became bolder and more elaborate, murders grew more ruthless and macabre, and the street gangs of old transformed into hierarchical criminal enterprises, giving birth to organized crime, including the mafia. True crime fans will relish what is likely to be the definitive account of this seminal period for lawbreakers and law enforcers alike. Available from Dutton in print and in e-audio format through Overdrive. If you liked Erik Larson's Devil in the White City, or are digging into To Poison a Nation, The Murder of Robert Charles and the Rise of Jim Crow Policing in America by Andrew Baker, this title is for you. And, in case you missed it, today's pick, Gordo by Jaime Cortez, honors Hispanic Heritage Month. Shedding light on the inner lives of migrant workers, this debut collection gives voice to a marginalized generation in the West. These tales, mostly following a young boy named Gordo, ask, who belongs to America and how are they treated? Cortez mines his memories of his own working-class California childhood to show life through the eyes of his titular character, a boy growing up in a migrant community in 1970s Watsonville, a community that includes the laborers who pick the nation's salad. One of the most moving portraits in the collection occurs in Chorizo, where an entire Indio family happens upon Gordo's house while looking for work and shelter. Despite their meager means, Gordo and his family provide what they can, and the Indio family counters with its own generosity. It reminds readers that even when we have little, there is always someone who has less. Available from Black Cat in print and in e-audio format through Overdrive. For different cultural perspectives, check out Ayad Akhtar's Homeland Elegies and Viet Thanh Nguyen's The Refugees. And that's it for this month. Thanks for tuning in to Denver Public Library's Friday 5 at 5. Check out or place a hold on these titles and a whole lot more right now at denverlibrary.org, link below. Want to know what else is going on? Subscribe to our newsletters at the link below and be sure to tune in next month for a very special Halloween-themed 5 at 5.